afternoon. I am doing what I do, and I'm happy because I had to take down part of the ceiling and put a beam in here so that way I could get the swing in here. Here's the thing. You guys know, my feet are too big. Look at his feet, they're so big. You guys know there's a thing called a honey-do list, okay? That means, honey, you better do this shit or else. And one of the first things that I did after we did all the demo while we were waiting for the building permit was I actually redid the ceiling up here with the tongue and groove boards. And I was good with that. And we painted it and everything, and then my wife said, I want a porch swing. Well, it's 2x4s that go across here long ways that hold up the roof. It's not enough to put a porch swing on there. So I had to pull this down and basically put 2x8s rafters up into it so that way it'll be able to carry the load. And I got my eyes in here to hang the swing on. So there we go. And I'm doing it out here in about 45-degree temperatures in the rain. But honey better do that shit or else. So we've heard that Denver, which is in cap hell because of Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson taking a huge, they're going to take an $80 million hit, probably over 2 years. They basically have cleared about $50 million, basically fire selling the team. And you can look and see where Buffalo is in the same kind of situation because of Josh Allen's contract. We keep talking about only Dak Prescott's. But Buffalo had to get rid of a lot of their starting players and things so that way they can get closer to getting under the cap. And they still have to deal with Josh Allen's contract. He's $47 million, just $12 million short of Dak. And I say Pat Mahomes is $57 million, by the way, and just $1 million, or $58 million, just $1 million behind Dak Prescott. And they're probably going to have to do some stuff with his contract, although they did his as a 10-year deal, so they have voidable years and stuff. But I look for them to probably redo his contract and give him a raise and get more cap release so they have more room to work with. And so you've seen them trade Jerry Jeudy, getting a 5th and a 6th round pick and letting go a lot of their great players. The good thing, at least for the Cowboys, is they're actually under the cap without having to cut anybody. And this is kind of, for the Cowboys, it's fortunate because the Cowboys can't do the basic things right now. As other teams have gone through and got themselves cap space, you look at Washington, it has like $91 million. The Bears got a lot of money. The Titans have a lot of money. The Cowboys can't make a decision that's an easy decision. They can't make easy decisions. And one of those decisions that should be easy and should be done is Michael Gallop. Now, I had incredible hopes for Michael Gallop. The reality is the Cowboys did what they always do, and that is after, you know, a little bit of potential, they always worry about losing our guys. We can't live without a guy. And in retrospect, sometimes you're better off not keeping that guy, letting that guy go in free agency and get yourself a compensatory pick. I want you to understand that if you think about this, think about DeMarco Murray. DeMarco Murray had an incredible season for us, right? Dallas Cowboys single season record. And the Cowboys, instead of re-signing him after him having all those miles put on him, they didn't re-sign him. They let him go in free agency. The Eagles ended up getting DeMarco Murray, signed him to a contract. He didn't work out for him, and he ended up leaving in a year. And we ended up getting a 4th round compensatory pick. Here's the thing about it is, do you know what we got for that compensatory pick? We got Dak Prescott with that compensatory pick. Had we re-signed Dalton Schultz, re-signed DeMarco Murray, we wouldn't have gotten Dak Prescott. we would have probably been looking at somebody else. And so you look at that and say, wow, the Cowboys, they could have dropped a boatload of money and been in cap problems, or they get an extra pick and get a guy who's young. And it turns out that it's Dak Prescott. And so here we are, where we look back with Michael Gallop. If they had let Michael Gallop go, he probably, coming off of the leg injury, probably wouldn't have been that high paid. But had he left and went someplace else, maybe it's a 5th or a 6th round, maybe even a 7th round pick, but you don't incur that salary cap number because of re-signing him. And maybe the money that you end up spending on him, you could have used on a free agent of a guy who was healthy. And so here we are right now. Today is the 9th. Come the next Sunday, on my knees and it hurts. Come next Sunday, if he's still on the roster, you now guarantee $4 million of his money. And what we get from the Cowboys are, well, we got to sit down and talk to Michael Gallop and this, that, and the other. Guys, Michael Gallop over the last 3 years is right around 1,200 yards receiving. The last 3 years. The last 2 years, you've paid on the salary cap $20-some million. And you're going to incur $13.8 million. Now, the thing is, you're seeing, of course, everybody's saying, well, if they cut him, make it June 1st, you know, we'll save $9 million. Yeah, for this year. But the problem is come next year, $8.7 million will be on next year's dead money. And you don't want to compound that with the guaranteed money, the roster of guaranteed money, come the 12th. So, sorry, not the 12th. What is next Sunday? I'm sorry, the 15th. Is it the 15th? I'm sorry. It's in 7 days. It's the following Monday. If he's on the roster, I think it's the 15th or the 16th. If he's still on the roster, you incur that money being locked in. And we've done this before where we ended up realizing we should have been better off doing this now, ripping the Band-Aid off. We did this with Jalen Smith. And then we proceeded to cut him in the middle of the season. In which case, we ended up incurring a big dead money hit. They should have, if they weren't sure that he was the one, they had cut him, of course, before that money became guaranteed, then we wouldn't have taken that dead money hit as big as it was. And this is one of those things that's a basic thing that makes a difference. And you know, in the end, there's been 58 teams that have been happy by the end of the year. 58 Super Bowl champions. And what you have to understand is every little thing that you do adds up. If it ends up being a couple $1 million here and a couple $1 million there, a late round draft pick here or a late round draft pick there, if you ended up letting Michael Gallup go and you got a 6th round draft pick, maybe you didn't see anybody you wanted in the 6th round, but maybe you package up that 6th and a 7th round or 2 6s and you move back up into the 5th for a guy that you really do want to get. And all these things matter in the grand scheme of things of trying to win a Super Bowl. Everything counts. And I just wish the Cowboys would start thinking proactively than reactively. They always wait till the last damn minute to do everything. And it's killing them. And it's killing me. All right. Need to get my little pry bar up here. Push that piece in and nail it up. And then I can get me the porch swing up here. And that's going to be fun. Oh, man. Get too old for this shit.